Welcome to week 2, session 2. We're moving right along almost to the halfway point here in a little bit. A few different areas for reading. Wiles in chapter 4, Schwartz, letters J and K. A couple different questions. Describe how leaders should lead the school curriculum team. I think that would be good to kind of outline specifically what the leader does and their timeline too, not just their roles and responsibilities, but what a good timeline would be for the leader. Also, again, with the Schwartz, discuss 2 items that will help in the development of the curriculum. And then this statement always elicits a lot of good discussion. The Common Core standards are designed to be robust and relevant to the real world, reflecting the knowledge and skills that our young people need for success in college and careers. With American students fully prepared for the future, our communities will be positioned to compete successfully in the global economy. So talk about that descriptor there and see what your thoughts and ideas are. There's a lot of different discussion that goes on about the Common Core standards. The Common Core standards are used, I see them in international schools all over the world also that use American curriculum. So talk about them and how they specifically help students get ready for the global economy. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, one reason why I was kind of rushing through this first part, is I wanted to go over specifically each different component of the final course paper, because each one of these areas, again, are either discussed in the discussion forum or in one way or the other in one of the writing assignments. So there are 12 different sections of it. The first part is introducing what curriculum is, what your philosophy or the philosophy of your district of curriculum is, what your definition of curriculum leadership is. Talk about the need of a needs assessment in evaluating curriculum when it needs to be updated and reviewed, or even developing a new type of curriculum. Also, the second part, preparation and change for the community. So talk about what kind of internal issues there may be in the school district, and then what kind of external concerns you have to take into consideration when implementing change in curriculum or implementing a new curriculum. Talk about the process that would be involved in the district and in the community in developing and implementing that curriculum. You can talk about the curriculum committee, and usually a curriculum committee is obviously composed of people within the district, administration, teachers, but also the people that are external, the external publics, the parents, the business leaders, things like that. And then identify the specific curriculum, the different areas of curriculum that need to be focused on within a school setting. You can choose specifically a specific topic, or you can look at curriculum in general. Most people look at curriculum in general and what is required in a K-12 program. So talk about the specific elements of what is composed of a K-12 curriculum program, and then talk about some of the trends that are going on right now in curriculum. 30 years ago, they wouldn't have guessed that we would have such a focus on technology. And obviously we have some specific trends that we are focused on right now, and technology is probably one of those big areas. The next is address the state and national curriculum guidelines. So that's the topic that we're discussing this week. So talk about the future of the Common Core state standards. And this has changed in the course of the past, as you know, 3 to 5 years when we've been teaching these classes. So if 10 years ago, we probably would have felt like the Common Core was going to be around for a while. Sorry, not 10 years ago, but when they were first implemented. And now we have more and more states that are dissolving them. And then talk about the future guidelines for assessments, how assessments are used to drive the curriculum development, instructional practices, and our school programs in general. We know that as educators that the SBAC has had a huge impact on what we do in our school settings. And so focusing on how that is affecting our schools and what your thoughts and ideas are on how we can utilize those assessments effectively, or maybe even not even use them, depending on what you want to do. The next is look at more than one future option. So what kind of possible scenarios is curriculum going to look like in 5, 10, or 20, or 30, or 50 years? What is our curriculum going to be looking at? What are going to look like at that time? And then also, as you look down the line, what areas of curriculum should be included? Should we include Algebra 2 for every single high school graduate? Should we include Montana history? It's not required in the state right now. So talk about why some things should be included, how we can assess to determine if they should be included, and how we can determine the success of those areas that are being included. And then conversely, talk about the areas that should be excluded, things that aren't as necessary for our school programs. Talk about diversity and how we can use it, or we should be focused on it when we're developing our curriculum. And when we talk about diversity, it's not just what race someone is, but also their socioeconomic status. I think in Montana, we see a lot of poverty, and that's a part of diversity too, in how we develop curriculum to make sure we're helping those students all be successful. Along with that, address differentiated instruction. So talk about how that affects us in developing and implementing curriculum, especially this centered around instructional leadership and curriculum leadership. I talked about technology a little bit already, how technology has really changed what we're doing with our curriculum development, how it's been integrated into so many different parts of our curriculum, because a lot of our mission statements around the state say something about helping students become 21st century learners. So talk about how the digital age has changed so much of our curriculum and helping students become part of that global community. And then specifically, number 11 is what kind of technologies can we use to help students move towards this 21st century model? And then the last one, I think, is always is not focused on enough in education, are relationships. It's a big part of how students learn and are successful, and how we need to be focused on building relationships with our students, and as educational leaders, not just building relationships with students, but with staff members, with community members, and in supporting the mission of our school and our school districts. So, and then also anything else that you feel like is unique to the curriculum area that you're focusing on, or curricular program that you're focusing on, mention that there. And this paper usually is 20 to 25 pages. You should have quite a bit of research in it. Again, a lot of that research, hopefully you're doing now during the course of this course. And so you're able to really amass a lot of good research that you have, and develop a lot of your thoughts and ideas using some of the thoughts and ideas from your peers in your groups and their discussions there. So again, if you do have any questions, let me know. I know some of these areas that are described are kind of difficult to understand, or you're not sure exactly where the department is coming from. I get it. When I did the paper too, I was a little confused on some of these different areas. After teaching the course a few times, I understand a lot more the point of it. But if you do have any questions, I'm here to help. Please give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I'll help you out. Or get online during our office hours, and I can help you out here too. But people should start working on this and putting it together. That way your last week is not so overwhelming. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Keep up the great work. I really appreciate it.